Alrighty. So just give it a little bit more. We'll be starting any minute just to make sure that everybody is here, or at least the people that want to learn. Let me go to my account. There we go. Alrighty. So starting off, budgeting 101. So budgeting. You ready to learn how to manage your money like a pro? Let's dive into the world of budgeting. Budgeting is a financial planning tool that helps you track and control your spending. It's like creating a blueprint for your money. Think of budgeting as a plan for your money. You figure out how much you make and how much you need to spend. Then you make sure you don't spend more than you make. Simple, right? Well, it's harder in practice, but soon we'll learn about ways to commit to your budget. Budgeting is important because it helps you achieve your financial goals. Whether you want to save for a vacation, pay off debt, or build an emergency fund, a budget can help you get there. Budgeting is more complex than you may think because it involves balancing your wants and needs. You have to make tough decisions about what you can and can't afford, and sometimes you have to sacrifice things you really want for things you really need. Budgeting is a tool that can help you achieve financial success, and process looks a bit different for everyone. The next lessons we will explore sample budget, yep, plans so you can get a kickstart on saving for your future. Budgeting is a type of financial planning that helps you track and control spending, directly compounds your money, maximizes spending, maximizes expenses. It's going to obviously helps you track and control spending. This is it. Yep, answers right there. Budgeting is important because it guarantees you'll become a millionaire. Outlines a plan for stock investment only. Helps you achieve your financial goals. Something only pros would do or should do. So pretty much, um, it helps you achieve your financial goals. Because up here, obviously it says also whether you want to save for a vacation, pay off debt, or build an emergency fund, a budget can help you get there. Budgeting is important because it guarantees you. So I didn't mean to click that. Budgeting makes you balance your cups versus mugs, wants and needs, stocks and socks, smocks and versus mocks. It's gonna be wants and needs, of course. What's important to you? Are your wants more important, or your needs? Uh, Biggest thing is like it's you got your family and you got this nice stuff. What do you want to take care of? Of course, your family, so it's gonna be the needs. Um, so that's budgeting. Pretty much budgeting is creating a plan, which that plan is used to help you make better financial decisions. And also, of course, helps you save for such things. Um, so on to the next thing. Budget factors. Budgeting is a powerful tool to manage your money, but what factors influence a budget? Knowing how much you can make is a first step in creating a budget. This could be chore money, allowances, job income, or even side hustles. This stat is known as income. Income equals the money coming in, often from work or other sources like investments or a side hustle. As money comes in, some goes out. This tells us expenses. Expenses is all things you spend money on, like school supplies, snacks, and entertainment. But another thing to add, snacks, and entertainment. These could be liabilities, and we'll go on back to that. We'll go on to that later on. Same with assets. School supplies would be considered an asset because you need the pencil, you need the sharpener, you need the paper, etc. Of course, sometimes snacks can be, we need food. Entertainment, eh. I just think more of these as liabilities. Then you have your time frame. Your budget should cover a specific period of time, like a month or year. You can create a monthly budget to track your day to day spending or a yearly budget to plan for big expenses like vacations or holidays. After you have a time frame, it's always good to have some cash saved. Savings equals money you have stored away safely that you don't intend to spend soon. Saving money can help you reach your financial goals and provide a safety net in case of emergencies. And last but not least, a budget should account for debt. Debt equals money you owe, like credit card debt or student loans. You should include debt repayment in your budget. Paying off debt should be a priority, so make sure you allocate enough money to each month to make progress. What is an example of income? Side hustles, babysitting wages, weekly allowances. Of course, all of above. I mean, you're still making money, you're still making income. Budget should cover a specific stock, currency, time frame, universe. I'm gonna go with time frame. Now I'm still learning that. Why is it time frame? So we're gonna go back over here. Then you have your time frame. Your budget should cover a specific period of time, like a month or year. You can create a monthly budget to track your day-to-day spending. So what that looks like is, say you have this going. Let me close no, no, I need to close. So say you have your stocks, right? And you want to budget. You want to budget and have it grow consistently. So over here, Tesla went down 3%, almost 4%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy more stocks because if I continue to buy the stock, then I'm going to get it at a discount price. So you're not really losing out, but at the same time you are losing out. But once it goes back up, you're winning. Um, so what we're gonna do is let's get some more Tesla, and then we'll look at say 24 hours. We'll look at that. How much do I have right now? Actually, 2 shares of Tesla. Okay, perfect. So 2 shares of Tesla. We're gonna buy 2 more shares of Tesla, and that is 386. Beautiful. So you bought 2 more shares of Tesla, and I'm budgeting it. So weekly, I could buy a stock every week, stock every month. Um, and there's an app on Bloom that actually calculates your 9.9% return, depending how much you put every week, every day, every 2 weeks, every month. Um, it just all depends up to you. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful right there. Anyways, budgeting, time frame. An emergency In an emergency, savings can provide a safety net, warm hug, source some money to YOLO invest, source some money to spend immediately. I'm going to say safety net because, I mean, source money to spend immediately kind of sounds silly. YOLO invest, silly, warm hug. Makes more sense with the safety net, but I'm going with safety net. It is a safety net because when you budget, you have money saved, of course. An emergency, that's why we have emergency funds. And that's where budgeting comes in play. Now, Zero-based budgeting. Ready to take your budgeting skills to the next level? Learn about zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budgeting is when you start with a blank slate and build a budget from scratch, assigning every dollar a specific purpose. So, you have to account for every dollar you earn and spend. Instead of just looking at your overall income and expenses, you focus on each individual expense and decide if it's worth keeping in your budget. So pretty much like you have an Xbox, you have subscriptions, you got YouTube Premium, Spotify Premium, Netflix, Hulu, Max, Paramount. There's so much. Those again, those are liabilities. Those aren't assets, those are liabilities. Do you want to keep those? You could save a lot more money by choosing which ones you want to like keep, which ones are worth keeping, and then you could reinvest the rest of the remaining money into something else more valuable. Now, zero-based budgeting is important because it helps you prioritize your spending and make sure not wasting money on things you don't need or want. Like I was just saying, the Netflix and all that. I genuinely don't think we need all of that. I have one. Um, I'm gonna be real. I use others sometimes. Um, I pay for my own YouTube Premium. That's all I pay for because you get fucking everything on there. It's YouTube. It's the best. Um, all of them are also cool, but right now I'm just budgeting. Budgeting. I'd rather have make all this money now than having to worry about it in the future. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, what's important to you? If you have a kid, of course those things are going to be important because you want to make sure they have the resources to learn, like, or actually have fun too. You can't just make them kids bland. I actually didn't take that into account. Um, but anyways, let's continue. Now, let's learn about making a zero-based budget. Start by figuring out how much money you make each month. Next, make a list of all your monthly expenses. Be as specific as possible. Make sure to include everything. This means you go get food, fast food. Do that. You at least eat out once a month, um, with friends or anything. Put that in. Anything. Uh, gas, of course. Gas is a big thing, but it's just very important to keep it all collected. Um, two. Yep. Okay, we just said two. Three. Categorize. Once you have your list of expenses, categorize them into needs and wants. Needs are essential expenses like rent and groceries. Wants are non essential expenses like eating out or buying new clothes. So, I like to get into detail about this kind of stuff, but when it comes to buying clothes, I have it. Ah, man. I buy clothes sometimes, but plain clothes because I want to look more professional. I want to look more. I want to look better. I used to think all the picture clothes like Nike and all that was pretty cool. I personally only just like the one that has the Nike little logo on the top left, nothing big. Um, I guess I like just the classic shit. But yeah, but I mean, yeah, like it says, wants are non-essential expenses like eating out or buying new clothes. Number four, allocate. Now it's time to allocate your income to each expenses. Oh, you know what? I'm so sorry, guys. Needs. We didn't talk about needs. You need water. You need food. You need to pay your bills. You need to pay your insurance. If you have debt, start off small. Save up and start off. It's a start if you at least start paying, because if you don't, collections, interest rate, all that. Maybe you might get a grace pillow because some people are nice like that, but it's not always like that. Um, but I mean, I'm sure you guys know what your needs are, and if not, I really hope this video helps you out. Uh, okay. Allocate. Now it's time to allocate your income to each expense. Start with your needs. Make sure you have enough money to cover everything. Then allocate any remaining income to your wants. So once you figure out everything that you need to put your money into, the remaining of your money, put it into your wants. But be wary because you could use that money that you use for your wants. You could put that into a stock investments. You could put that into real estate. You could put that into an investment, something that will make your money work for you. Um, you could even save it. Fuck. Yeah, you could save it. You don't have to. I don't know. I just want you guys to be so financially free that you're not. Like I said, you're not a cog. Or I said it in one of my posts. You're not a cog in the wheel waiting to be rusted and replaced. I've never heard that. I know it's probably said before. I feel like I didn't come up with it. So, but exactly. I'm sure you all heard you don't want to be the cog in the wheel, but my saying is you don't want to be the cog in the wheel waiting to be rusted up and replaced. Think about that. You want to be the clock itself. Not even that. That's weird. You just want to be you. You want to be free. You want to be with your family. Um, and screw the American dream. We're gonna do fucking the American goal right now. Like that. We're gonna learn together. Anyways, 5 review. After you've created your zero-based budget, it's important to review regularly to make sure you're sticking to it. If you find you're overspending in certain categories, you may need to adjust your budgeting. Listen, it's okay to make a mistake. We make those mistakes. As long as you learn from it, you're aware of it, and you improve. Because we're human beings. It's simple. We're human fucking beings. Anyways, zero-based budgeting can help you take control of your finances and make sure you're spending your money on things that are important to you. It can also help you save more money and achieve your financial goals faster. Give it a try and see how it can help you take control of your money. After you identify your income and expenses, you should categorize, allocate, review, and none of the above. After you identify your income and expenses, you got to categorize your wants and needs. Remember, your wants and needs. Here, I'll go back up here and show you that one more time. Categorize. Once you have your list of expenses and categorize them into needs and wants, uh, expenses and income and expenses. Allocating is matching your income to each category, each allocation of stock, each expense, each review. I'm gonna go with, oh, see, I was wrong. I was going too fast. I wasn't even thinking. I was thinking. I was just being dumb. So we're gonna go back and figure out why I was wrong. Why it was actual expense. So let's go up here. Um, Time to allocate your expense. Allocating is matching. Okay. Allocate. Now it's time to allocate your income to each expense. Start with your needs, making sure you have enough. Gosh, this thing has enough money to cover everything. Then allocate any remaining income to your wants. So it's each expense. I was kind of confused. Yep. Allocate your income to each expense. Okay. Reviewing is important to identify and limit self reflection, self awareness, overspending, underspending. Overspending is going to be the answer because reviewing, you're going over what you spent this month and then you go over what you spent last month. And you're already halfway through this month and you're already spending more than last month. You're clearly doing something wrong. That's reviewing. You're reviewing what these past 2 months are. Um, but to end off there, that's zero-based budgeting. Envelope. A lot of you will love this. It's I haven't tried it, but I feel like a lot of you who are more hands-on, who love cash, this will be your thing. Or if people, this is something who I don't know if this is just something that's more hands-on, and I find more better for those that just like want more control in a way. Um, apps are controlled too, but I'm sure you understand what I mean. Each, all right, are you ready to take control of your money? Let's learn about magic of envelope budgeting. Envelope budgeting is a system where you divide your money into different categories and store them in physical envelopes. Each envelope represents a different expense category like groceries, entertainment, or transportation. With envelope budgeting, you only spend the money that's in the envelope for each category. This helps you stay within your budget and avoid overspending. Envelope budgeting is important because it is important because it helps you prioritize your spending and make sure you're not wasting money on things you don't need or want. It can also help you save more money for things that are important to you. Decide on your categories is the first step. Making a list of your money expenses and decide which categories you want to use. Some examples include groceries, entertainment, transportation, and clothing. Now, groceries, entertainment, transportation, and clothing. Please don't forget your bills. I don't know why they didn't bring it up in this. I don't. Yeah, just focus on your bills first. Make sure your loved ones are taken care of. Mainly yourself, because how are you supposed to make money when you're in the shithole? Anyways, step two: determine your budget. Decide how much money you want to allocate to each category each month. Do you want to put $20 per month? If you put $20 per month, think about how much you'll be getting in a year. 20 times 12. That's not, that's a little bit, that's quite a bit. But what are you going to do with that? Like a few hundred? Not a lot. You can invest it. But actually, it's still a good start because you're still saving, honestly. I can't actually say it's a bad thing. It's a lot better than you spending it all on something unnecessary. But you could actually reinvest that few $100s into the S&P 500, VU, um, or anything you want. You do whatever you want with that money. Now, put the allocated amount of cash in each envelope at the beginning of the month. Beginning of the month, middle of the month, end of the month, it's up to you. Just make sure it's in there during that month. And you'll know if you mess up because you have a specific amount of, money you're putting in there. So, like, you don't got to stress out. I mean, if you put extra, make sure actually I would write down that you put extra that month because in my opinion, when I put extra money into savings or stocks, I get excited. Uh, because it's like, wow, I made that much extra money this month, this week to be able to increase my portfolio. And which what that means is since I invest in some stocks that have dividends, those dividends will pay me out faster and more, and then I can do compound investing. And I'll get more into compound investing and dividends once we're into that sector in that section. But right now, I'm going to continue with budgeting. Anyways, step five: spend from your spend from your envelopes. Only spend the money in each envelope for the corresponding category. If you run out of money in one envelope, you'll have to stop spending that category until the next month. So, okay, so no, okay, I was getting this wrong the whole time. What envelope is actually you don't have to put your bills. That's something I was just adding. It's I guess the fun stuff, yeah. How much you really want to put in the fun stuff? Uh, necessarily no, don't because there are actually some wants. I mean, some needs in there like groceries is a needs. Transportation is a need. Um, but yeah, so envelope budgeting is where you put all your money in one envelope, divide your money with strict spending limits, hide your money in envelopes, divide your money with strict spending limits, of course. Okay, 1 second. Okay, we are back. Now, where were we? Okay, what is the importance of envelope budgeting? Helps you prioritize spending and limit overspending. It helps you overspend. It helps you spend all your money at once. Of course, the first one. Come on. What do you do if you run out of money in one envelope? You stop spending. This means you've hit your limit. You don't double your money. You don't add money from other envelopes unless you just want to fuck yourself. Let's just be honest. Okay. Now, we're almost done with budgeting. Bear with me. Um, I'm having fun, not gonna lie. This learning this is actually really fun. But let's learn about 50, 30, and 20. 50, 30, 20 budgeting is a simple and effective way to divide your income into three categories. You allocate 50% of your income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt payment. Um, and honestly, I would say move maybe 10% to savings, so make it 30% savings and debt repayment and 20% wants because you're really going to chase your wants that bad more than your savings and your debt like let's think about that. You that kind of troubles me because I want you guys, like I said, I want you to be free. I don't want us to be thinking about debt repayment unless it's good debt. And we'll also talk about that later because there is good debt. Um, like, of course, the loans, all that. But like I said, we'll get into that later. Right now, this. The 50, 30, 20 budgeting rule is easy to follow because it simplifies your budget and helps you prioritize your spending. 50, 30, 20 budgeting is important because it can help you live within your means, build an emergency fund, and pay off debt faster. It can also help you save for your future or your future goals. Um, Step one, of course, calculate your after tax income. This is the money you take home after taxes and other deductions. Two, determine your needs. These are the essential expenses you must pay, such as rent or mortgage, utilities, food, and transportation. Allocate 50% of your after tax income to these needs. Yes. Don't forget, you also, I'm not a business owner yet. I don't own realty or anything, but I'm sure you guys understand. Of course, the rent, the mortgage, the property taxes. I think another big thing, taxes. A They love the taxes. That's the biggest thing. I know there are ways around it, but a lot of people don't know those ways around it. And so that's all that's all I have to say when it comes to that. Step 3, allocate 30% of your after-tax income to wants. Let's just say 20%. These are things you spend money on that are not essential, such as entertainment, dining out, or shopping. I understand humans need entertainment. They need something. Um, But we as humans and people need to be better at that. Stop chasing so much entertainment and the dopamine, I guess you could say. Uh, it's wrapped us around so much that we've really forgotten who we were or are. We don't necessarily worry about the important things like we should. But hey, that's why I'm here. That's where there are thousands, maybe millions of other individuals that want the same thing as I do, who are willing to do what we can to make that change. Just as long as you guys are working with us to do that as well, because we can't make you do a lot of this, a lot of anything. We're just teaching you these things. Um, of course, I'll show like examples. I'll show examples. I'll probably do some courses, not courses, but free courses if I do, honestly, because what's the whole point of you guys paying for that stuff when you can get this for free. All I need you guys to do is just be 100% with yourselves, because you want a kid, you want a nice car, you want a nice house. To me, those are essential, except for the kind of car, but that should be something for you to drive yourself, okay? Um, and that's why budgeting is very important. And just, I just really hope you guys do what's right and learn this, because I want everybody to be free. I want everybody to be good. Um, just don't be afraid to ask questions. If I'm saying anything wrong, doing anything wrong, let me know. I don't mind constructive criticism. It's a lot of dudes out there don't like that. A lot of dudes don't like fucking taking fucking like advice from others. Is weird. I don't know. Anyways, step 5, track your spending. Make sure you're staying with your budget and adjust as needed. Now you have 5 steps to try out 50, 20, 30. We're changing that to 50, 20, 30. A complicated way. What is 50, 30, 20 budgeting? A complicated way to divide income. A simple way to split income into 3 categories. A way to spend all your money on wants. Okay. Now, in a way, for some of you, this can be complicated because of the percentages. Um, so let's do it this way. Let's open a calculator. Let's get the calculator going. So the 50-30, say you made 100,000 in a year. Now, 50%, that's going to be literally $50,000. That's going into your wants, not your wants, your needs, such as, like it said, your mortgages. Where is it? Right here. Nope. Okay. Your needs. Your needs. And we understand that already. Now, your wants. We need to do 20%. What's 20% of 50%? I'm kind of silly. I don't know. Let's search this up. What's 20% of 50,000? I'm pretty sure I know it, but all right. 10,000. That's what I thought, because you're literally freaking dividing it, dude. Okay. 50%, 20% of 50,000 is 10,000. That is literally $10,000 you could just spend and do whatever. Imagine that. Imagine you made it 30%. That would be around $10 to $20,000, maybe 15. I need to do the math. We are learning together. Anyways, that's 50,000 minus the 10 equals 40,000. Oh, where'd it go? Yep, 10,000. Okay. So, now the remaining 50, 20, 30, that's 40,000. $40,000 that you're able to use to save. 40,000 you're able to put in this beautiful stock market. 40,000 you can use to buy a beautiful condo, not condo, complex, or a house somewhere, rent it out, make your money back. It's honestly, it's beautiful to even think, like, to know that it's possible and to know you can do it and make it happen. Like I said, it's down to you and what you believe in and how far you want to push yourself. And that's why I'm here. Okay? Now, a 50, 30, 20 budgeting, a simple way to split income into 3 categories. Okay, I'll be right back. Break time. Alrighty. Why is 5032 budgeting important? Thank you. My lovely lady just brought me a nice crumble cookie. That's a lemon too. Ooh. Alrighty. Um, it can help you overspend. It can help you live within your means and save for your goals. It can make you spend too much money. 50/30/20 budgeting. It can help you live within your means and save for your goals. Now, what is step 2 of 50/30/20 budgeting? Track your spending. Allocate 100% of your income to debt. Allocate 50. Let's do your needs. Of course, sorry, spurt. 40. Your first step is, of course, going to be track your spending because you need to know your income and your expenses. Actually, no, your income. I mean, so after tax deduction, so after tax takes it out, add that all up, and then allocate 50% of your incomes to needs. Alrighty. Value-based budgeting. Value-based budgeting is a method of budgeting that prioritizes spending on things that bring you the most value and joy. It involves identifying your values and aligning your spending with those values. In simpler terms, it means spending money on things that really don't matter to you and cutting back on things that don't. On things that really matter to you. Okay. The importance of value based budgeting is that it helps you align your spending with your priorities and goals and ultimately leads to a happier, more fulfilling life. To start value based budgeting, these are 5 key steps. First, identify your values and what matters most to you. Set financial goals that align with those values. 3. Track your spending to ensure it aligns with your values and goals. 4. Make adjustments as necessary to ensure you are spending on what truly matters. 5. Continuously reassess and refine your values and spending habits as your life changes. So now you have a way to budget based on your core values. What is value based budgeting? Spending money randomly, prioritizing things that bring you most value and joy, spending money on only essentials. Prioritizing things that bring you the most value and joy. Where are you going? I already talked. You're not going to hang out for a little bit? Alright. What is the importance of value based budgeting? Helps you align your spending with your priorities. Oh, obviously that one. I think I thought I clicked that one. What are the steps to start value-based budgeting? Identifying your values and what matters most to you. Set financial goals that align with those values, or all of above. Of course, it's going to be both of the answers, so all of above. Now, for the last course and the last thing I'm going to be teaching for today, or for now, I'm going to be taking a break after. I'll be back on later tonight, and we'll be going after. Oh, let's look real quick. To be honest, let's see. So we got economics down, we got personal finance, and then we got budgeting. We got the basics down. Um, I'll get that course in a minute. So we have investing basics, how to invest. So I think we're gonna start off when it comes to investing. Like there's a lot of investing shit. Gonna start off with investing basics, and then how to invest. Because with the basics, we'll be able to know all of this. It's the basics, of course. Um, yeah. So we did personal finance. I do eventually want to get into intro to taxes. It is tax season. Intro to credit's another good one, especially for you young folks. Interest rate's another big thing. Um, you never want anything above 10%. If you do, and if you have to take it, take it. But just make sure you're paying it off. It'll still be good on your credit report. Just pay back. That's what credit is showing lenders or borrowers that you can pay back on borrowers fucking lenders. Anyways, um, but we're going to continue with budgeting. Incremental budgeting. People change every year, and so can budgets. Let's explore an ever changing budget plan. Incremental budgeting is a budgeting method that uses last year's budget as a starting point for the current year. So, this is actually funny. I was talking about this earlier on one of the courses. I forgot which one, but like I was saying, every time you put money, or no, take last month and then take this month and then compare it. See how you're doing last month. If you're making more, stop spending. If you're if you're spending more, stop spending. If you spent a lot less than you did last month, perfect. Use the remaining allocated money or cash or whatever you have and use it into an investment. Use it something that'll make your money grow. Um, incremental budgeting is a method that uses okay. Incremental budget. Oh yeah, is a budgeting method that adjusts the previous year budget to make the current year's budget. Pretty much the same thing that this just said. It was kind of just worded differently. Incremental budgeting is important because it provides a baseline for budgeting and makes it easier to track spending changes from year to year. Incremental budgeting is commonly used when you have a stable income and expenses. The budget for the current year is usually based on the previous year's budget, adjusted for changes such as inflation or growth. And inflation is another thing we'll be going over, of course, because they have a whole thing of it. It's pretty big. A lot of people hate inflation. Like right here, it's only 4 lessons. Yeah, just inflations for regular inflation, stock and inflations, and saving accounts and inflation. And then, of course, causes of inflation. Um, the budgeting process is usually, let's start here. The budget for current year is usually based on the previous year's budget. I already said that. The budgeting process is usually faster and less complicated than other budgeting methods. Incremental budgeting may lead to overspending and may not reflect changing priorities or needs. Regular views and adjustments are important to ensure the budget stays on track and meets the organization's goals. So now you have a way to budget the bills on the success of your past years. What is incremental budgeting? Starting from scratch every year, using last year's budget as a starting point. A stagnant budgeting method. It's going to, of course, be using last year's budget as a starting point. Why is incremental budgeting important? It can track spending changes from year to year. It requires less time and effort. It always leads to better financial outcomes. So it's going to always, it's of course going to be the first answer. It can track spending changes from year to year. And pretty much just like the month and month example I was giving, you're going to see the improvement. And with the improvement, you're going to be having extra cash laying around. You can have more money to be allocated, which means you can buy more stuff to have your money grow. So it's important to track spending changes from year to year. If you also have the app, you can use this website and the answers are on there. What are the potential drawbacks of incremental budgeting? It may not reflect changing priorities or needs. It requires too much time and effort. It always leads to worse financial outcomes. Fuck. It's gonna be the first one. It may not reflect the changing priorities or needs. Um, and that's because this it probably isn't really. I don't know. I find it that like I don't know. It's fast, yeah, it's faster, less complicated, but to be fair, I kind of think the envelope in budgeting is better, or the 50-32 or 20, but I call it the 50-20-30 because I'd rather have 30% in the investments rather than 20% because I technically 30% on the wants, like fucking entertainment and stuff I don't need is kind of silly when I could be putting that in there. Anyways, this is Budgeting 101. I do appreciate those who stood by, learned. Um, but yep, that's Budgeting 101. The video will be saved on my YouTube, will be put into the playlist with the rest of the courses or classes that we went through. Um, but yeah, so appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later.